Joining us now is the other California senator elected in 1992, the second half of the first female pair to represent a single state in the Senate, and longtime colleague of Senator Feinstein, former California Senator Barbara Boxer. Senator, thank you very much for being here. I want to first play back that moment when you both were elected. You stood together. Let's play it.
In California, California becomes the first state to send two women onto the U.S. Senate. The short one for the long seat, Barbara Boxer, beats Bruce Horshenson. And the long one for the short seat, as they called it, Dianne Feinstein, defeating John Seymour, the incumbent in California. And in Washington, the mom in tennis shoes, Patty Murray, a winner over Rod Chandler. That is four new women now in the Senate.
The mom in tennis shoes, I like that, but we'll leave it aside for now. What exactly are you remembering today about your former colleague?
First, Dianne, rest in peace. She has a legacy that's unbelievable, and the last year has been hard, so she deserves that rest. But I have to smile when I listen to my former colleagues talking about her gifts. I'm wearing a watch right now that she bought for me. I don't think she liked my watch that I had. So she went out and bought me this watch. But I have another show and tell thing for you. If you could see this, tell me if people could see it. It's a cartoon. Is it good? Or
yeah,
is it
I got
good?
it. I see it. Thelma and Louise.
Okay, there you go. And I write over the top. And that's what we were called when we ran, Thelma and Louise. And I want to talk about why it's not a fact and evidence that we would have been that close. Because in those years, when you were just a little girl, the word was women could not get along. And certainly two women running for the Senate, we never even had one woman elected. How could this be? And Dianne was very popular then. She had run an excellent race for governor. She didn't win it, but she was known statewide. She was forged in tragedy as the mayor of San Francisco. People respected and loved her and trusted her. And I just had this little congressional district in a tiny part of this huge state. She could have said to me, Barbara, you're on your own. And I would have understood. Instead, she grabbed my hand. And we did become the Thelma and Louise, or the Cagney and Lacey. These are the things we went out there together. And even though I was more liberal and she was more moderate, it didn't matter. We knew what we were doing together, and we were joined at the hip when it came to California. If we had our differences, they never were personal. And that was quite a ride, 24 years working with her in the United States Senate. It's filled with memories.
Yeah. You know, I was a kid with stars in her eyes. I thought I could be president of the United States. I thought I could be a Supreme Court justice. I never once thought because I was a girl I couldn't do any of those things. And I think part of the reason is because, again, I was looking at California and my two state senators were women. I never thought in my mind that there was a time where that wasn't the case when I was a young girl. Tell me about the early days in the Year of the Woman, the early days when these freshman female lawmakers came to Washington on the heels of the Anita Hill controversy.
First of all, I want to say that I never would have won my race without Dianne, but also without Anita Hill, who made the point that, you know, women were just not represented in the Senate. People looked at that hearing. They didn't see any women, no people of color. And it began to change right then and there. But it was rough. I mean, I just want to spend a second about the campaign. People would say to me, oh, I could vote for one woman, but I can't vote for two women. And somebody else would say, oh, I could vote for two women, but not two Jewish women. And, you know, Dianne had her answer. She'd say 2% may be good for the fat content of milk, but it's not good enough for the U.S. Senate because we only had 2% women then. And I would say, if anything, the Senate needs some chicken soup right now. So, you know, we took it with a sense of humor, but it was really a lot of prejudice. And we knew when we got there that we had to prove a couple of things. One, that we could lead. Two, that we could work together without fighting. Yeah. We actually had one reporter, Katie, who had a column. He was waiting for us to fight because people knew we were a little bit in different wings of the party, and we never did. And I finally went to the editor and I said, would you do this about two men, follow them around, waiting for them to fight? So we had a lot of things to overcome. The guys would see us talking on the floor, the 6 women or something that were there, and they'd say, what are you plotting? No, we were just talking about this bill, this vote. It was really something, but I think all of us worked across party lines, the Republican women, the Democratic women of the Senate, and now you see 25% of the Senate women, and rising, I hope. And Diane's legacy is unbelievable. Her work on the only assault weapons ban we had, our only regret was it lasted only 10 years. It should have been a forever bill. That was unfortunate. She put acres and acres into wilderness here. It protected the desert. Yeah. Did so many things. We've talked about those things. They're all legacy. But she was a one of a kind. And when I went to her and told her I wasn't going to run in 2016, she got mad at me. She said, why on earth would you leave? You're at the top of your game, and you're the chairman of the Environment Committee, chairman of the... And I said, well, it's just a feeling I have that's time for me to step aside. She never really quite got over that.
Yeah.